A very pleasant good night, my beloved brothers and sisters in Christ and outside the body of Christ. Well, once again, this is your little Christian brother, Eric Braxton, speaking to you all from his beloved country, Trinidad and Tobago, the land of my nativity, the land of my birth, Trinidad and Tobago, this wonderful island country that is in the blue Caribbean Sea, speaking to you all in the month of July 2020. Brothers and sisters, in this part 3 video, I just want to say to all those who involve in paranormal research, in supernatural research and the paranormal, hunting ghosts, making contact with ghosts, haunted house, haunted place in the cemetery, haunted roads, haunted tunnels, etc. and etc. Haunted parks. I just want you all to know in this, look at my part 1 and my part 2 video, because this part 3 video, in this part 3 video, I want you all to know, in part 1 and part 2 I describe how God created man. We are flesh and blood creatures, and man is not a spirit being in a body. But in this part 3 video, I just want to say, brothers and sisters, the same way how we human beings are physical creatures, because I am flesh and blood, you also is flesh and blood, and you are seeing me and I am seeing you all. For instance, I am going on the road in Port of Spain, the capital of Trinidad and Tobago. I meet a young woman or I meet a young woman or an old woman. We are rapporting together. Whether I know the woman or the first time I see her, that doesn't matter. What doesn't matter is two human beings meet together. She is flesh and blood, I am flesh and blood. So she is seeing me and I am seeing her. She is not invisible to me, I am not invisible to her. She is just as me. Because the same way how God make her, He make me the same way. We are flesh and blood creatures. Now, all of you all in the paranormal and who are paranormal investigators, you all will quickly understand what I'm saying is true. Because you all are human beings, flesh and blood, just as me and about the woman that I'm speaking about. And you all know that every human being that ever born and come in this world, and the future generation to come tomorrow, and right now the babies that are born all over the world in the hospital and outside the hospital, they are flesh and blood children. So you all know that, right? Now, so we are seeing one another as human beings. Am I correct? Yes, I'm correct. And every human being knows that. Because that's how God creates us. We are flesh and blood, that's why we are seeing one another. Now, I want to tax you all mind and teach you all something that you all is not thinking about. And what is that? I will bring it to the fore, to one and all, to behold, to see it, to understand it, and to comprehend it, and to embrace it, because it is the truth. The same way how God created us human beings, flesh and blood, and we could see one another, touch one another, hold one another, kiss one another. And you is not invisible to me. The lady that I'm speaking with, that I meet in Port of Spain, or any human being that I meet in my country, only better say I leave Trinidad and I come to America, I will meet human beings in the airport. Even in the plane I'm traveling as human beings. They are seeing me and I am seeing them. No one in the plane is not invisible to no one, because all of us is visible, and the captain is seeing me and I am seeing him. The head hostess in the plane is seeing me and I am seeing her. Is that true? Facts, because we are visible. Right. Now, if God had created us spirit beings, right, as the teachings say, now that teaching is false, but it's not true, but I'm simple saying, I using the example with the physical visible to the spirit invisible. Now, Now, I'm saying God did not create us no spirit being and no physical body. But according to the teaching out there, which is contrary to the Bible, they say that we are spirit being in a physical body, and we this is not the true you. The true you is a spirit being inside our body, but when this physical body die, the true you who is a spirit being who live in this body for 50 or 60 years, and when the body is dead, you now is in spirit world invisible. Is that true? I am saying that is not true, because God is an intelligent being. And I am simply saying, the same way how we in the physical could see one another and touch one another, and I am not invisible to my brother is not invisible to me, we could touch one another and feel one another and know one another, because he is seeing me and I am seeing him, both of us is flesh and blood. Right? But right, that is true. Now, according to the false theory, if we are spirit being in our body and the physical body dead, that and the person is out there as a spirit being now, I am simply saying that that spirit being will have the ability to appear back in the physical world in an operation form and talk to physical human beings who's in physical body. And that spirit being, person who is a spirit being now in the invisible world, will not only remain in an invisible form where nobody can see him, because that doesn't make sense. It is a contradiction. Because you see, according to the theory, but that theory is false. So try to understand what I'm saying, paranormal researchers. If any of your uncle dead, he was alive with you this yesterday, this is an example. But look, he died today and he is buried. But all you have a spirit box going to make contact with his spirit. No, because if he was really a spirit being in a physical body, he'd have the ability now to appear back to you. Your uncle that able to have the ability to appear back to you in an operation and sit down and talk to you. And you wouldn't have no spirit box to go and make contact with him. God has created him with that ability. But these things are not happening. And we are not witnessing that. So that teacher right there, that we are not spirit beings and nobody. And the spirit box that you're using, thinking that you are communicating with your dead uncle who died recently, and thinking that he's in the spirit world invisible, is not your uncle you're communicating with. You see? So right there, that will teach you something is not wrong, something is wrong. Because same way in the natural world, physically, you are not hiding from me, I'm not hiding from you. You are seeing me, we are seeing one another. And God is an intelligent being. Well, God I know that if he the same way how I had that good relationship with my uncle in the physical, when he was alive physically. He just talked to me yesterday. He just hugged me and kissed me yesterday. But look, he died today. Right? And he buried tomorrow. And you all are saying he's a spirit being in the spirit world. Right? And God wants me to maintain that relationship with my uncle? Because you all are saying he's not dead. He's alive in the spirit world. Well, if that is true, then God had created him with the ability. Now he is no longer in flesh and blood, but a spirit being in the spirit world. He's able to come back and pair with me, take on an operation and come back and pair with me naturally and hug me up and kiss me up the same way 4 days ago before he didn't die. But are we seeing that? No. Why that is not happening? Why that is not happening to each and everybody all over the world? Why that is not a normal occurrence? Because it shows you God did not create us that way, and we are not spirit beings. And a lot of you all are ignorant to that and do not understand that. And therefore I'm teaching you all that facts. We are flesh and blood. Okay, am I talking foolishness? Well, you must a paranormal researcher with your 40 years of paranormal research. If you think I'm talking foolishness, you know that you don't have a spirit, you don't need no spirit box to come to talk to Eric Braxton, because you know I'm alive and I'm breathing. You don't need a spirit box to come and talk to me. Your spirit box will remain in your bag and you will sit down and talk to me man to man. You know that. But you will see that if I did, Then you will lead the spirit walk to contact with Eric Braxton's spirit to talk to him. Can't you see that is wrong? Can't you see that's a contradiction? Can't you see that it is contradicting itself? The philosophy behind that is contradicting itself. Can you all recognize that facts? I am teaching you all that facts. I am pointing out that to you all. I'm opening all your eyes to that reality, to that comprehension. It is contradictory. God is an intelligent being. Imagine I, Eric Braxton, as a little Christian boy, are telling you all that. Much less God, the Creator, who possesses supreme intelligence. You think He will not do that? Of course He does do that. Because if human beings are really a spirit being in a body, and that's the physical die, right? But the person is out of the body now, and there's an invisible spirit being. Well, then God has created them with the ability to appear back in a natural spirit form, not hiding from no one, but make Himself openly for everybody to see Him. And He'd come back to your family, living in the same room, lying down in the same room, eating on the same table, but there see that being a spirit operation form. Are we seeing that taking place all over the world in every family? We are not seeing that. So what that teacher right there, that teacher we was not created in the first place as a spirit being in a body. So right there, that debunk that philosophy that we are spirit beings. So who you all are really making contact with? You all are not contacting dead people, because the dead people, we are not spirit, we are flesh and blood. And when we dead, we are no nothing. And we are not spirit beings. So all of you all paranormal researchers and all the paranormal groups, you all are not making contact with the spirit and no dead people, because the dead people are not no spirit beings, and God did not create us that way. But you all are making contact with spirits, but not the spirit of dead people. Do you all get the message now, brothers and sisters? Listen carefully what this little Christian boy in the Western world, in the Caribbean, are teaching you all. And not only are you teaching that, all the true Christians are teaching that. All those who understand the Bible are teaching that. Brothers and sisters, we are not spirit beings. And a lot of you all is not recognizing that. And I am observing a lot of you all. You all go in an abandoned building, and the building is haunted, and you all are asking the spirit all sorts of questions. And even the spirit is telling you all that they are evil spirits. Even the spirit that you all contacting telling you all certain things, but you all think the spirit making joke. Am I lying? It's on the internet for everyone to see. You all are asking the spirit all kind of thing, and the spirit is telling you all shut up, all come out of here, go away from here, and all these things the spirit telling all you, and all you believe that the spirit are dead people only making contact with. That is not the spirit and no dead human beings. Why you all cannot understand that? Because you all do not have a knowledge of the Bible, in spite you all grew up in a Christian background, whether Catholic, whether Baptist, but you all haven't taken the time to read the Bible. You all just grew up in a Christian family and call all yourself Christian because all the mother and father is Christian, but you all are not true Christian in the sense by giving all your life to Christ and baptized and following the Bible. You see? And even self, you all go to church on a Sunday, that is as a pastime. That's to say, we're going to church to present ourselves, and we sing a little song and read a little scriptures. But when all you come back, all you have time to study the Bible, you all are studying no Bible. You all just go to church because all your friends invited to go to church. That's why you all are ignorant of what the Bible teaches about the dead. God did not create us that way. All these paranormal, this going out to all those paranormal researchers, all those who involve in tracking down ghosts and spirits, and investigating haunted roads and parks and places, and trying to make contact with the dead and with ghosts and spirit. This teaching is for all of you all, because you all doesn't know the truth how God actually created man. And that is in the second chapter of Genesis, I think it's verse 9. The Lord God formed man out of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostril the breath of life, and man become a living soul. Look in my part 1 and part 2 video, I've covered that. But I send you all to Genesis. You will actually see how God created man. We are not spirit beings. God created the angel spirits. He did not create us that way. We are flesh and blood. And this is what I'm teaching you all. This is what I'm pointing out to you all my paranormal brothers and sisters in the paranormal community. This video is for you all, so that you all will study what Eric Braxton are teaching you all. Recognize what I'm saying. Do not fight against this message, but analyze what I'm saying. Study it along with all the Bible, and you all will see what I'm telling you all. What the Bible have said concerning that matter. Brothers and sisters. And you know, you all are not figuring it out because you all are blind to that truth, reality. Because you all are not reading the words of God. First, the spirit that you all are making contact with, you all are not seeing the spirit. The spirit was only talking through the spirit box and giving you all message. And even some the spirit take an operation. It's just for a little time and then disappear. It's well, have you all paranormal researchers, have you all ever asked the question that spirit that you all, or these multitude of spirits in that haunted house that you all are making contact with and are speaking to you all through the spirit box, have you all asked the question that if there's 10 spirits in the room, how come none of these 10 spirits haven't taken an operation and appear to each and every one of you all, and then leave the room in that operation form and walk down in the city with you all in operation form for one and all to behold them, and for all these 10 spirits in that haunted house to remain in that operation form for a whole 50 years, so that people all over the world could come and behold them and see them? Is that taking place? That is not taking place. Why that is not taking place? There's a reason why that is not taking place. That's why I'm mentioning it to you all. And look now, all of you all never think about that and sit down why that is not happening. But I'm teaching you all that so that now you all will see the difference. You know why that is not happening? Because in the first place, this spirit that you all are contacting with, that you all think are the spirit of dead people, is not the spirit of dead people. You see, brothers and sisters? Brothers and sisters. But this spirit that you all are talking with in these haunted rooms and haunted places, they does take on an operation, but it's only for a little while, and then they vanish and disappear. And all of them does the same thing. You see the difference? You see the difference, my brothers and sisters? You see the difference? But if God had created us human beings, spirit beings, that's as though we had created these angel spirit beings. If he did create us human beings, spirit beings in a body, and when the physical body dead, and we outside with body conscious now, as a spirit being, God has given us the ability now to take on an operation and come back and talk to our family members, and we are able to spend time in a solid operation for a whole 1,000 years, for a whole 50 years, talking to everybody. But of course we can make ourselves invisible, and plus make back ourselves visible, right? But we will not be disappearing and hiding from people. We'll make ourselves visible and come back and talk to all we family members, and everybody seeing us as normal. But that is that taking place all over the world? In every town, in every village, in every city, in every province, in every district? Is that taking place in the inner city, in the urban city, in the rural areas? Is that taking place in every family? Is everybody witnessing that? The answer is no. So right there that teaches God did not create human beings that way as how we create angels. Angels are create spirit beings. We was not create spirit beings and put in a body. That's why you all are not witnessing that. Brothers and sisters. I know a lot of you all will say, how Eric Braxton come to know these things? Who teach Eric Braxton these things? Did someone teach Eric Braxton these things? Did Eric Braxton have discovered these hidden knowledge or hidden insight in some special book that he have found in the library? or have he sent away from some special book? And in that book, that contained that revelation that is only there for a few. And I have been very fortunate to come across that, and no one else haven't come at that. The answer is no. It is in the books of all books, the Holy Bible, for one and all to know the state of the dead. That the dead doesn't know anything. It is in the Holy Bible. Yes, that's the books of all books, and everybody could have a Bible because it's available for everyone, all and sundry. There have I read it, where God say the state of the dead, and it tell us how God created us, the Holy Bible. But all of you, all paranormal researchers, and all those in these paranormal groups who are going in different places to hunt down these ghosts and spirits and make contact with them, you all are ignorant of the Bible, because in the first place, you all, and a lot of you all are not even Christians and don't even believe in the Bible. So you all do not know what the Bible states about the dead, brothers and sisters. And this is what I'm teaching you all. This is what I'm teaching you all. And this is what God have teach us in the Bible about the state of the dead. Many people have all sorts of concept about the state of the dead, but they have the wrong concept about the state of the dead. Many people have their own philosophy and ideology about the state, how God, the thing God create man. That say that we are spirit being in a physical body. We have an immortal soul inside our body. And it says the physical dead, but the true person who's an immortal spirit, when they come out in the spirit world, they pass on the other side. And you can make contact with them through a spirit box. You can make contact with your loved ones. These things are not true. These teachings are not true. But these teachings are popular in the world today, and many people have millions and millions and millions of people have accepted these teachings. But on the contrary, the Bible teaches something totally different. The Bible teaches truth. The true state of the dead is, or how the dead is. And God is the one who inspired the prophets in the scriptures to tell us the true state of the dead. And we know it is impossible for God to lie, because according to the book of Hebrews, by two immutable things, it is impossible for God to lie. And you know in the Bible, God say, thou shalt not lie. And in spite God tell us, thou shalt not lie, you all know that as human beings, all of us have tell our little lies and our big lies. Right? But you know the commandment says, thou shalt not lie. Right? So brothers and sisters, I will see how much I could go up to this video. If it's half an hour, I'll try to make it half an hour. Brothers and sisters. So to all of you all in the paranormal research, who in paranormal group, and who are doing paranormal researchers, I, Eric Braxton, are encouraging you all to take up the Bible and start reading the Bible and looking at all the passage, starting in Genesis, to show you all how God actually created man. So from that standpoint, you all will know that the activities that you all are engaging in, thinking you all are communicating with the spirit of dead people, you all are not communicating with the spirit of dead people, but you all are genuine. You all really believe it's the spirit of dead people you all are communicating with, but you all doesn't know that. So I encourage you all to read the Bible and actually hear what the Word of God say. And when you all hear what the Word of God say and recognize that we are not spirit beings, and when human beings dead, the Bible talk about a resurrection where God will resurrect the dead and all these things, then you will all come to the knowledge and the understanding that what you all was engaging in all the time, that belief that we are spirit in a physical body, and when the physical body dead, the spirit is in the human, that person is a spirit being or a ghost in the spirit world, and you all can make contact with that dead person, you all will recognize that that teaching is false, and you all was engaging in a false activity all the time. You all will come to that revelation. But only until that time you all make that effort and do that research and accept the Bible and what the Bible teach, then you all will be able to come to that realization So I'm encouraging you all to do that, my dear brothers. Read and accept what the Bible says, brothers and sisters. And of course, all those who will watch these videos, and and pray that God will give you all the understanding and recognize that what I'm teaching you all is true. But first, recognizing what the Bible have said on that matter is true, what God have said, then you all know, when you all come to the knowledge of that truth now, you all have to renounce that practice. All them spirit box, you all have to throw it away. That group that you all was in, you all have to dissociate from that paranormal group and tell others that now you all understand the truth, because now you all will baptize and accept Christ and become Christians. And now you all will know that man is flesh and blood, and we is now no spirit being. And then when people die, the Bible talk about the resurrection of the righteous and the resurrection of the unjust. And you all will know that the spirit that you all was making contact with all the time is not the spirit of dead people, but it's the angels that God had created. Brothers and sisters, you all will come to that understanding after a period of time. When you all do this part first, you all will understand that after. But if you all reject what I saying and say, Eric Braxton don't know what he's saying, man. Eric Braxton doesn't know what he's saying. He misunderstands. And you all continue to think you all are making contact with the spirit of dead people, then I can only say, I pray to God that all of you all, God will have mercy upon you all, and that a lot of you all who will reject this message, I pray that in some point in time, all those who reject it, that you all will revisit what I said and really go through in a serious way to understand what I've teach you all. And when you all fully understand what I said, by praying to God and helping God to understand it more, to give you all more clarity, understand what I said, and you all understand it, then you all know the decision that you all have to make. All the spirit box you all have to throw away, and that you all will become Christians now and accept what the Bible say. Right? So that you all will know now that we is not no spirit being and no human. God did not create us no spirit being, and we is not no spirit being in no physical body. Right? You all understand what the breath, right? That's the breath of life. The air, the wind, in spite it is called spirit ghost, but it does not have a form and shape, it is not a personality, it is not immortal, that's the force. The air, the wind, that go back to the atmosphere, that go back to God. But you is flesh and blood, because God said thus you wanted, thus return. You see, you all recognize that. And that we himself is a soul, this is a soul. We is a living soul. Why is the breath is in us? But the breath is not us. That keeping us alive, and by eating food and all these things too. But when we give up the breath, and that go back to God, the atmosphere, which is as the wind, the air, you who's the soul become a dead soul now, a dead person. And we know that when dead things go dead, animals or human, they go through decomposition and rot and all these things. We know that. That's a fact about the matter. That's how God created us. That's how God created us. The animals is created that way. The animals are souls too. The animals do not have a spirit inside the body. A spirit being inside. The animals are not spirit being inside the body. Brothers and sisters. That's the way how God created us. He did not create us like the angels. You see, all the angels that God created, He did not create them flesh and blood creatures. They are created of spirit substance, according to Herbert W. Armstrong describe it. They are not composed of matter. We are of flesh and blood matter. The angels is composed of spirit matter. You remember after Christ's resurrection, he tell the disciples, come and touch me, flesh and blood, because the spirit do not have flesh and bones as you see me have. So a spirit does not have flesh and bones. You see, He created them different to us. You see the difference? You see the difference? He did not create us that way. Brothers and sisters, He did not create us that way, and I want to emphasize on that point. God did not create us spirit beings. He did not create us that way. We are not no angels in no body. Well, to be a spirit being, you don't have to actually be an angel. But he did not create us spirit beings, and we are not spirit. Very important that you all understand. Well, brothers and sisters, I reach my 30 marks. So in this part 3 video, I pray that God will help you all to understand what I'm saying. And in part 1, part 2, and part 3, brothers and sisters. So in the mighty name of Jesus Christ, I've come to the end of this part 3 video. May God help you all to fully comprehend all what I say. And you all take up all the Bible, the original King James Bible, and start reading the Bible. And you all understand about how God created man. We are flesh and blood. The animals are flesh and blood. The ghost is spirit in us. It is just called that way. It simply means the breath, the air. And there's the resurrection of the righteous, the resurrection of the unrighteous. And the angels are spirit beings, not us. So I pray that that God will help you all to come to that understanding. In no other name but in the mighty name of our Lord and our Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen and amen.